Thank you very much, Sami. Good morning, distinguished gentlemen. I'm sure many of you have never seen me in spectacles. This is not fashion. Incidentally, I have a little injury to my eye, and it's not conjunctivitis, so don't be scared that you catch it. So greetings once again. We are grateful for you coming this morning to be part of a conversation that is very much needed. As you realize, the finance ministry, and in fact the government, has been very interested in mobilizing revenue. And many of us have asked questions as to whether the approach or the approaches are the right steps to take. But incidentally, we also do know that there are certain processes that lead to the maximization of revenue, and one of them obviously is trading. Thank you very much. So what we are going to do this morning is to have a conversation, because there have been a number of contentious issues in that landscape. And as Sami rightly suggested, that we may not want to get into controversial issues. I disagree though, but I think it is important that what the court process demands of us, we should respect it. Some very senior people, highly respected people, would have also joined us, but for these very contentious matters, they prefer to stay away from this program. But it doesn't matter the beauty of the program at all. I think it's important that these conversations are had at different levels, and rest assured that from this gathering, the conclusions of this conversation will be sent to the right quarters that were supposed to be here but had to ask for permission to be absent. You know, yesterday I chanced upon the latest Doing Business report, the World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index, and it had ranked us somewhat favorably from 120th position last year to 114. I think the previous year we were 112, and the year before we were 108th. So it means that there's been some supposedly marked improvements between last year and this year. And if we realize that the 2015 position was 108th, it means that we'll have to cross several borders in order to, if it's the case, that we're going to re-establish ourselves at 108th position. But that's not what we want. I think that this administration should take us to the 100th position by the year 20. A number of things they have to do, would have to discuss at this particular gathering. I also note that the very vital indicator of trading across borders seem to have favorably given us some room to reflect as well. I mean, in 2015, even though we're 120th, and I'm told by my assistants, my researchers, that the methodology was changed from 2015, but in 2015, trading across borders, we were 120th out of 190 countries ranked. 2016, we came up to 171. 2017, 154. So presumably there was some impact in terms of the reforms that were being pursued. But in 2018, we climbed up again to 158. And in 2019, projecting, we are 156. So we should be grateful for small mercies. But there's a lot that ought to be done actually before this administration seeks the next mandate of Ghanaians. There's a lot of talk. We've seen a bit of action, but there's a lot more that needs to be done. I am very positive that this God would have very diligent, should I say, rather very interesting conversations that are solutions-driven, that we can take to the powers that be and tell them what ought to be done. One of the challenges I have in this country, personally, I have to say, is the very discordant nature of policy making. So in the controversial matter of CTN and what's it called? It used to be Advanced Shipping Information. Now it's CTN. Just one single policy that ought to be rolled out. You wonder the number of vested interests that are interested in either getting the process up or getting the process down. to the extent that some powerful persons within government do not even want to speak about it. I certainly think that the CTN matter is an avenue for rent seeking. But this is my personal opinion. It has no economic impact, but it's being rolled out. I think it's important that in the art of policy making, there's consistency, there's coherence, and there's focus. Well, without having to start a discussion of my own, I'll leave my comments here and suggest that we have a very fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much.